What up? What up? Hold on. See all those houses right there? About in 05, all that was closed to the public. It used to be public land. And then sometime around 05, they closed it to protect I don't remember if that spot, there's another spot up here a little bit where dads used to take their kids dirt bike riding or take their kids hiking or fucking whatever, just being out just in nature, close to LA, close enough within driving distance. People that live here drive to LA to work, but they had closed that area down to any dirt bike riding, any sports shooting, any hiking, anything. Couldn't go there. They fenced it up. I don't even know how much they spent to fence it up, so people couldn't use it. And so I wouldn't take my son there riding. We would have to drive like an extra hour and a half away from here if we didn't have another spot that was up here, but they closed that around the same time, so we lost that spot. So we'd just ride where we could ride, and then when law would try to light you up, you would just pin it. You'd just be like bop bop bop, and you'd be out and you would take off. But what happened is, with the majority of people that wouldn't just leave from their house and ride down the public street on a dirt bike and then go riding in an area that supposedly is off limits, even though it's public land, they just didn't take part in that. And so those dads didn't take their kids riding or out there in the nature doing whatever people could do in the nature. And then what happened has been going on in California for a long time now. Close all these public places, parks, rivers, streams. Like, we got beautiful, really beautiful nature areas in northern and southern California that were taken away, fenced off, and then they will about a generation, like say before I had kids, I experienced those places. Fucking Roaring Rapids, right? It's fucking less than an hour drive from LA. That was really popular, right? And then what they do is close down these areas, claiming about like there's a bug at risk of extinction or a plant or something like that. They're protecting a specific plant. So I don't use it, then I wouldn't take my kid there. My kid wouldn't know it. And then once those kids reach adulthood, they don't know about it, and I've forgotten about it, don't even really pay attention to it. I've always paid attention to it, but I'm just generally speaking as just an individual. So then the land gets sold off to an investor, and investors build on it. It's a scheme, I don't know how the money's made there, but local politicians that make $100,000 a year, less than $100,000 a year, becoming multimillionaires, I'm pretty sure that has something to do with it. But anyways, that Kyle Rittenhouse case, it's weird to me that even today, like after the verdict, media outlets come out and make all these wild claims and accusations, completely false, and they're lies, like straight up lies. It's a fact. Like, everything's already been discussed. If you think that there was a violation of law, watch the trial. Go back, start watching the trial from day one, watch that shit, and everything is cleared up. In the trial, there's explanations of things that people are confused about. But what really gets me is people that know the justice system is lacking and it's not where it needs to be fair and equal like that. Since I was younger, we would see that symbol of the blindfolded lady with the scale, you know, and I never believed that because I would see people wrongly convicted or just different, everything from very minor crimes to huge multiple life sentences for innocent people. I know it's very prejudiced, and I know there's a prejudice towards blacks. I know there's a prejudice towards Hispanics. I've seen it with my own eyes, you know. And then what always got me though was it wasn't just a prejudice towards a specific race. You know, there was. I'm not denying that there isn't, but I think it was more of them being used, you know, from even back in the day, like how people make the claims about like the crack epidemic and all that shit, that black people don't own planes and who's flying this shit in and blah blah blah. We all know who was doing that shit. We all know that. But what I don't understand is the type of person that would come out and want Kyle to be fucked just because they're pissed off at the system. You know what I mean? And then the media just stoking the divisiveness and the hate about all the shit like that. The media straight lies, and just straight lies, like calling Kyle white supremacist. I don't know if he is or not, but there's nothing to prove he was. They even went through that kid's phone, you know, went through his phone. Far back, there wasn't none of that. That shit would have definitely came up, you know. People who didn't turn over their phones is the dude that was living, that got his arm, he got treated exactly how he should have gotten treated, basically. What the fuck? There's a pop-up vaccine fucking thing right here, and I always notice this little RV right here, but what's right next to this busted ass RV is like a state car, or like a narc car, like an undercover. Nah, they're not really undercover, but they're fucking those type of cars that like narcs use and shit. But anyways, so I wonder if they're like surveilling that pop-up spot. But anyways, yeah, I don't understand why somebody that knows the justice system has failed because of prejudice or whatever life experiences they got that they know for a fact, right? Why they would want this kid that plain and simply, for sure, without a doubt, if that's not self-defense, if his case is not self-defense, then there's no chance at nothing else being self-defense. You know, he was considered from the area because his dad lived there, he has family there, and he works there, and he's always there. So that's out the window. The gun thing, that's all bullshit. You know, the state laws allowed him to carry a rifle. That's it. It wasn't a SBR. It wasn't a pistol. It didn't fall within their firearms definition, you know. So regardless of what anybody wants to fucking say, it doesn't matter. He had the right to be where anybody else was at, just as much as anybody else had. But what the point is like in a flood or something, when we have floods or natural disasters, we always see civilians. There's many more civilians helping other civilians, and the reason why is because obviously there's so many more civilians than there is emergency services and stuff like that. So when people just have fucking common sense and logic and have heart, they're gonna want to step in to help where they could help, you know. I don't, doesn't matter whether or not I think he should have been there or any of that stuff. Like, would I want my son to go and do something like that? No, I wouldn't. Anytime there's been issues, protests and stuff like that, I always try to have my kids not go. You know what I mean? But I can't lie. Me and my daughter went to a gang of. Me and my daughter went out to whatever. Me and her went out, but because I wanted her to see how things are in person versus what the media spills, and I wanted her to see actual, because of stuff I noticed on the news and on footage from protests and all that. I wanted her to see that there was organization there, and it wasn't just a bunch of civilians that really care for somebody's justice. This was actually, there was structure behind all of that stuff, and it's all in there. It's all like, who needs to know about it knows about it. But it's just mind-boggling to me that somebody thinks that they're gonna get their way, which is a repair to a system, when they want that system to be there in a wrong capacity. Sometimes it's not gonna work that way. Shit ain't gonna get fixed that way. And the more people bitch and complain about stuff, you're just putting other people that might generally be on your side, you're gonna turn them off from being on your side, because they're like, what the fuck? Obviously this was right. Like, he's self-defense. We could carry a rifle. Even in LA when I was growing up, people would have rifle racks on their back window, and they'd be rolling around and have a rifle on their back window, you know. And gun laws, when gun laws changed and they tried to do all that weird shit, all that did was fucking blow up the black market for guns. Like, you had normal everyday average Joes becoming gun dealers because the price of weapons drastically increased from where you could have got something for like $200-$400. Shit was like $1,000, $1,200, and this is back in the day. That shit was good money. Shit, dudes were selling during the assault weapons ban when that first hit in the LA area, residential, like out of a home, M16 with grenade launcher in a case, 3 grenades, was going for $1,400 during the ban. And even if somebody wasn't breaking the law, and you would find that kind of stuff out, because we lived in neighborhoods. You know what I mean? We were like everybody else. We were at the ground level. We were in touch with society. So of course we're gonna want something, because we know the fool around the corner has a fucking M16 with a grenade launcher, 3 grenades. You know what I mean? And we might not get along with that fool, but so of course we're gonna want an equalizer. But it's weird to me that people are still buying into, regardless if you like white people, you like black people, none of that shit matters. Let's say you don't like somebody because of the color of their skin, it's fucking stupid. But let's say you don't have to kick it with these people. You could live your life, do your fucking thing. But when you have a common struggle, you don't flip your switch and all of a sudden want to deal with and work with, and want that justice system to do something wrong just because you don't like that person, or because of his skin, or because his hair, or because he's short or tall or whatever. You know what I mean? That doesn't make no sense at all whatsoever, because then you're just continuing what you don't like in the first place, and you're going to have no excuse. Once you're known as a type of person to want prejudice to work in the system, don't get shit twisted, dude, and think that people are on your side because the media they pick and choose what they want to play. It doesn't work like that. And don't fucking get it twisted and think there ain't millions of motherfuckers just hoping like hell nothing happens, because they like people, and they generally do, and they just want to go to work, come home, fucking do whatever the fuck they want to do on their fucking side time. Don't think there ain't millions of motherfuckers that ain't gonna put shit down and shit comes their way. There's a lot of motherfuckers out there just like, oh, that's crazy. They don't say shit, no stickers, no shirts, no fucking none of that shit. You know what I mean? But if something comes to them, they're gonna do what they feel they gotta do. Like, how many people do you think are fucking pussies and are willing to just fucking eat a dick because you want them to? Life does not work that way. You know what I mean? But that's my take on it. It's fucking stupid that people against, and they notice and they legitimately have a bitch that the justice system has failed certain types of people, certain groups of people, certain areas versus other areas. You know what I mean? it's more of a financial injustice area, and it doesn't mean get fucking free shit. It means fucking work harder and work your fucking way out of the motherfucking shithole, so just like other motherfuckers did. And don't act like you're part of somebody else's struggle that you were never part of. You know, if you weren't part of a fucking struggle, just because you know somebody that was, or just because you might have something in common with somebody that fucking actually lived and died in a fucking true struggle, don't act like you got fucking part in that shit and think that you could use that shit and think that you're right over something today, because all you're doing is fucking yourself, and you're fucking anybody that'll listen to you, because you're steering them in the wrong direction. Don't gotta kick it. You could fucking hate, you could love, you could do whatever the fuck you want to do, but be logical at least. You know what I mean? Fuck, whatever. You don't like that person, cool. Don't hope and fucking yeah and push for the one thing that's truly against you besides yourself, for them to keep doing what they're doing, regardless if they're doing it to somebody else. They're still doing what you don't want them to fucking do. Fucking stupid, fucking dumb. So that's my take on it, but we'll see how it works out the rest of the week. We'll see how the other case goes with the mod thing. Hopefully that goes the right way. Hopefully there's a conviction out of that one, because same fucking to me, unless somebody could show me something different that I haven't already seen to make me think differently. The only difference between Kyle and Ahmaud was Kyle had a fucking AR-15 and fucking Ahmaud Arbery did not have a weapon to protect itself. And it's a fucked up situation. You know what I mean? Fucked up situation. It's fucked up. They shouldn't have treated that kid like they did. And he was murdered. He was tracked and hunted and fucking murdered by those are cowards. Kyle's not a fucking coward. You know, I don't know if he's a hero either. He fucking, I wouldn't doubt that he's gonna be a hero one day, because that fool's a fucking nut with it, and he's got fucking skills. Was a professional. But anyways, yeah, I wish Ahmaud would have had a rifle on him. You know, I would have wanted the same outcome. If Ahmaud had dumped on those fools and smoked those fools, I would have said the same exact thing. He was just like Kyle was chased and fucking, you know, everything that happened, you know. That's my take on it. If we want the justice system to be right, we want it to be right. We can't want it to be right, then wrong, then right, then wrong, then it's the same justice system. You guys are fucking stupid with that shit. Yeah, eat a dick on that. Fuck that shit. But anyways, wise up. Don't be a fucking idiot. Stop fucking listening to the media, dude. The media is fucking just playing motherfuckers. Yeah. So anyways, have a good day. Do something positive. Don't hate on people to the point where you're just going to keep perpetuating the same fucking shit that's bringing everybody to their points of madness or fucking pussiness or babiness or whatever. Get smart. Get smart. Damn, that's a dope ass charger. But anyways, have a good day. Do something positive. It was a cool day, but it'll be all the way cool when the other cases ended up. Hopefully it goes the right way as well. So, peace out. Have a good day. Do something positive. Be nice to people. And don't lie to be genuine to people. Don't think because you might talk well or something like that gives you the right to mislead people. All right. Peace out.